Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Jupiter's Crock here on the Outpost Unknown YouTube channel. We are back after 2 weeks because for some reason, Stars decided not to show an episode of Spartacus House of Ashur last
This is
Friday.
not our fault. I know
Yeah,
we miss a lot of episode deadlines, and sometimes we just stop posting things. But this one was not our fault.
definitely not our fault. And apparently, just because I went to Twitter to see what Stephen DeKnight would say, and even he had no idea why there was no episode last week, which doesn't bode well, I don't think, for Stars continuing this show. It just feels like a very negative sort of like, we're just going to take you off the air this week for no apparent reason.
I don't
Please,
know enough.
please let this series have an actual ending. If you're not going to get it a season 2, wrap up the storyline. So if you get season 2, you just start fresh. Like, do not let this end on a fucking cliffhanger and then we never get Spartacus content again.
No,
Yeah,
no.
it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I would have thought that Stars would have at least said, hey, yeah, I mean, if it had been a huge hit, I mean, let's be honest, Stars would have been like, boom,
Yeah.
this is
Within a few episodes, you'd figure they would have already greenlit a second season. But I don't know how TV and rating and streaming stuff works anymore. I don't know. It's like they've got numbers, but I don't know.
well,
Like
to be
mid
fair, we're probably 3 of the 10 people that actually have Stars, the streaming service.
And we got
So,
it for like $1 a month for a year.
yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Ridiculous.
Now they got my dollar purely because of this show. So this show has made them, at least $12.
yes. so yeah, we don't know what's going to happen with House of Asher, but we are back this week. We're checking out episode 8, which is titled Horizons. And if you listen to our last episode, we weren't super hot on that episode. We felt it kind of took a dip. But hey, we're back with episode 8. Our hope was, hey, man, it's going to get back on track. We're going to get some more scheming from Asher. We did have a couple listeners who were posting some comments about, well, wait a minute, this whole season's just about Asher trying to be kind of like a good guy and, navigating the shark-infested waters of upper crust Roman stuff. I don't know if I sort of buy that. We can talk about that more as we
Okay.
go on. But we were talking about Horizons. So Ronan, I know you weren't super hot on the last episode. What did you want from this episode before you started watching it? What were you expecting?
I don't really know if I can answer. It's like, well, I'm expecting them to do such a. I really, because of the way the last episode ended, I didn't know what the fuck they were going to be doing in this episode. That was part of our complaints last time, is that I don't know what the fuck this show is trying to build up towards, and not in a good way. Not in oh, the suspense is killing me, but in a, I genuinely, you have not laid out the breadcrumbs for us, the listeners, to know what should be coming in these next few episodes. There's 2 episodes fucking left, and I don't know what the fuck is happening. I don't know how you guys keep being wrong too, by the way,
Oh
on all of
my,
your theories. I mean,
oh my God,
Matt laid out some theories last
I
week,
did. We're gonna
and
talk about how I was wrong.
he was just completely and utterly wrong. How does it feel to be wrong, Matt?
My defense to this, Ronan, is I'm writing a better show than what I'm seeing on screen. That is my defense of that.
As a Star Wars fan, is what you're forced to do.
Yes.
To be fair, like both you and me, Ronan, told Matt, like, your theory doesn't make any sense to us to begin
I was
with.
like, your
Look.
theory's fucking stupid.
Like,
Look,
I think you
the theory
misread
was
something in the show.
I probably did. Maybe I just didn't hear what she said or something. But
Like, the woman's like, yeah, a fat guy hurt me, and Matt's like, Caesar, that's
Senator,
tone Greek
no,
god. She's
I said
talking about
Gabinius.
he thought it was the senator. It's
I thought
Senator. What's his
Gabinius,
name?
not Caesar.
yeah.
Gabinius. I thought it'd be much more impactful if Gabinius got killed by one of Asher's gladiators, and then Asher has to figure out how to get out of that.
The character that has never once interacted with this woman in the show.
and a senator who has a special seat in a high box and never interacts with the crowd, the common Roman filth.
Look, fellas. If I had been writing this, the whole thing would be like, oh, we're setting Gabinius up to be just kind of like, oh, he's just this kind of like old dude. He's not doing anything really bad, and then we find out, whoa, Gabinius is the one he's been cheating on his wife with this prostitute, and he's beating the shit out of her. Like, we find out he's an awful person, so we feel good when Gabinius gets taken down by the gladiator. However, now that puts Ashur in a really tough jam of what is he going to do? How is he going to get out of it? I'm thinking like I'm writing a better show. Is all I'm saying. Guys. I'm writing a better show.
I think we are all just overestimating all of this, and Ashur really just wants to play ball with the Romans, and that's his goal. He just
And I don't
wants
know
to
if
be
I
a
like that.
successful Renista.
We'll talk about that. I don't know if I like that. But we're going to talk about Horizons. Steve, what were you hoping to get out of this episode?
Very much like Ronan, I had no thoughts going into this. I still, even though we were kind of like souring on the last episode, I still really, really enjoy this series. I'm still excited to watch a new episode every Friday.
Same here. Same here.
Yeah.
But definitely after last episode, we were like, I had no idea. It's like, I don't know what Ashur's end game is outside of possibly he really just wants to be a good, upstanding Roman citizen now.
Which is just not him.
He just wants. Is it though? I don't know.
Maybe not. I mean,
I think he would have been happy to have the Ludus and Lucy Lawless, and so would all of us. I could see that he would just be happy. I mean, like a successful Ludus and having Viridia. I think maybe we're expecting more than the show is going to deliver, and that's fine. But I think a completely acceptable end game for Ashur is he just wants to be taken seriously. He wants success. I don't know that I can buy Ashur having some wanting to reach the Roman Senate or anything like that. But I mean, I had nothing going into this. It's just I don't know what Ashur wants outside of to be an acceptable Lannistas. I have no idea. I had no thoughts, no expectations for this episode. Like, my hope was that this episode would tell me what Ashur wants. And I don't know that I got that.
Back in the day when we were watching all these, and I encourage everyone out there listening, hey, go back and listen to, we have whole seasons. We covered all of the previous seasons of the show.
Yeah, there's only 2 more episodes of this show before, before you have to go back to the backlogs for more Spartacus content.
But rewind a couple years, gentlemen, and remember when we were like, man, House of Ashur, that'd be fucking cool, right? We didn't say that or want that because we thought, man, I would really want to see Ashur just be a really good dude having fun as a Lanista and a Roman citizen. Nobody wanted that, right? Nobody wanted to see a show based on Ashur just being like this non-scheming, sort of upstanding good dude. And so I went into the show thinking, oh, sweet, he's going to just scheme his way to the very top. He's going to outsmart all of these Romans. And we're going to see that throughout a progression of that throughout the course of the season. We have gotten none of that. And there's a huge problem I have. I was so disappointed. We'll get to the my girl Halara scene in all of its glory.
We'll get to it multiple times.
Multiple in all of its glory. But there
at
were
least
moments,
3 or 4 times on repeat.
Yeah, there were multiple moments in this episode where I'm like, okay, they have made the conscious choice, at least through the first 8 episodes, to not give us what we want. And my mind started going back to that opening scene of the show that we were all kind of like, we could have not. We didn't need that Lucy Lawless sort of underworld thing. And she says something to him like, would you like to have seen what would have happened had you like succeeded or whatever? Maybe this show is just a metaphor for Ashur's hell. He's completely powerless. He's a mask. He can't do anything. He actually had power of some sort in that real world. And Lucy Lawless, who clearly does not have any, I mean, why would she be like, hey, have a good life, Ashur? Have this fantastic life of yours. I'm going to bring you back. The gods are bringing you back. He was a bad dude. I mean, he did some bad things to Lucy Lawless.
He's not a good character. Yeah. We can still root for him and like him, but it's always important to remember Ashur is not a good dude.
But maybe this is just like, oh, if you would have got what you thought you wanted in that previous life, you're going to be miserable. You know, the love of your life is going to be taken away. All of this is going to be taken away. And do I want to see that show, though? That'll be do I want to see that show?
So it's a
I don't
show.
know.
All of it's basically the house of Ashur's failures, is what you're seeing, and
Maybe,
Yeah.
that's
but every
deliberate.
theory I have is wrong. So I'm just kind of throwing it
I
out
mean,
there.
at least this one kind of ties back into the opening. That the ones you were cooking up last week were based on nothing. But I mean, at least this one,
Do you see that? Do you see it? High definition.
high definition, like bro,
Fair.
your
I did
camera's
not
like
hear about the
720.
fat guy.
Your
Fair.
camera's
Fair.
like 720. But
Whatever.
but at the very least, that does tie back into the beginning of the show and that weird opening that I was willing to just write that off as like a studio note. Like, oh no, we got to really explain to people like why Asher is still walking around. The IQ of the average viewer has gone down substantially in the last 15 years. We need to really stupid up this show to explain to them. Like, maybe I don't
I
know
don't know.
though. Like, if the last episode we suddenly got some kind of Asher's in hell, I don't know if that suddenly vindicates this show,
I
but
don't know. I
I,
don't know.
I'm
We'll
I'm
see.
hoping that we got 2 episodes left. Asher has taken loss after loss after loss. I'm hoping the last 2 episodes are about Asher has finally been pushed too far, and now he's going to unleash hell. Am I gonna get that? Probably not, but that's what I'm hoping for.
I
I don't.
hope so, man. I don't
It's
want them to be like. I don't want the last line of this show to be Asher's like, "I'm gonna fucking take down all these people," and then it's not renewed for season.
We never get season 2.
yeah, we've been saying it. Like, you cannot have this show set up like on a giant cliffhanger when a season two is not guaranteed. It's like, yeah, that's a bad idea. Give the show a satisfying ending, and you can
What?
always pick up threads.
Yeah. Well, let's get into it, Steve. So we're talking episode 8, Horizons. What do we got going on in this episode?
So Proculus comes over to shit in Asher's mouth. Speaking of all of the losses that he takes, Proculus comes over and he's got the Edile with them, and they're both like, "Hey, Proculus bought all of Opiter's stuff, which includes the Medicus that's been taking care of Achillea." And
One
so
who
then
speaks no English.
and then Cornelia comes in and she speaks Greek, and she and the Edile agree that, yeah, if Asher was on fire, we wouldn't piss on him to put it out. Yeah,
That was funny.
Asher sure does suck. Waka waka. And then she just leaves the scene.
I love that because like Asher, Nick Terabay is fantastic in this show. Where he just looking, you know, he has no idea what they're saying, and he's just so sad that he has no idea. Like he can't. He's got to know they're just shitting on him. He's
Yeah.
I gotta say, the opening to this was a strong opening because this suddenly opens up and they're coming into his house. He's got the E-dial, he's got Procula, and I'm like, oh shit, is did they tell on Asher? Is Asher in trouble for the end of last episode? That's not what it was, but that was kind
Yeah.
of a fake out, I guess. But that's what I thought they were setting up at first. But yeah, I was still like, oh yeah, he does still have the Medicus. Okay.
Yeah, so after everyone is done shooting on Asher, Proculus sends the last Ferox brother to go and fetch the Medicus. And this is where Asher's like, oh yes, I get a little bit of payback, because he's like,
Don't
yeah,
worry, little
don't
man.
worry. Chorus, the Doctore will escort you. And so you can tell, like, the Ferox brother is like visibly terrified
Yeah.
of Doctore. And he's like, he's like, why didn't you just kill me, blah blah blah. And he's like, I want you to suffer. Well, where are my brother's bodies? I should be able to, mourn
They
them.
deserve a
And
They deserve a gladiator's funeral. And all that chorus is just like, they're not getting it.
prepare to be
Fuck off.
disappointed.
Yeah, just fuck off. They're not getting it.
Yeah. But eventually, like, they retrieve the Medicus and leave. But yeah, Ferox brother terrified, of course, as everyone in this fucking show should be. We see Asher. He is talking to Halara, and Halara is getting a little too big for her britches, because Asher is like pissed off as to what just happened. Fucking Proculus showed up with the E-dial and armed guards, and Halara's like, "Well, can you blame him?" And Asher's like, "Are you fucking? Are you having an opinion right now?" And so he shuts that down and tells Halara, "Go and find us another Medicus," and that does not get paid off whatsoever in this episode. So I don't really have anything else to say about it. Meanwhile, Achillea she's back practicing with a spear, and Dadiator is giving her instructions because he's the Doctore for about 17 seconds in this episode. Because out comes Chorus, and he's like, "Hey, I'm back." And so
Get my old job back.
Dadiator just immediately hands over the whip. Like, he is not bothered by this whatsoever. There's no like power struggle. He's not sad to be going back to a gladiator. He has like that much respect for Chorus. He's just like, it is what it is. And so Chorus makes Dadiator start sparring with Achillea, and then we'll see what happens with them later. What else happens? Proculus, again, he's in this episode again. He runs into Kosudia and Viridia in the street, and Viridia has no idea about anything that happened in the previous episodes about how Kosudia tried to set up Proculus. And so Proculus is like, "Oh yeah, I would like to discuss business with your mom." And Viridia is like, "Oh, can I help? I'm a very helpful person." And
I'm so
Kosudia's just
sweet
like,
and likable.
just no, just leave, get the fuck out of here. I got to talk business with Proculus. And they both basically just threaten each other repeatedly. And so Proculus is like, I'm gonna get you. And
As your husband's dead, he's awfully old.
Kasudia is like, no, you won't. My husband's gonna protect me. And then Proculus is like, have you noticed all those gray hairs on his head? I'm gonna get you. And he specifically
and your daughter.
he specifically says, I'm gonna come for your daughter as soon as it's safe for me to kill both of you. And so Kasudia immediately goes running to Gabinius, and this scene is probably my least favorite scene in this show so far.
I saw some stuff in the Discord about.
I love your Discord comment.
I had to rewind this scene multiple times to like get the gist of it, and even then, I don't know that I really got the gist of it from this scene.
I'm pretty sure I followed along with it the first time. I don't know, but like,
so I know I eventually got
explain
there.
It, Ronan. Explain, Ronan. What is going on here?
At least the gist that I got while watching this, the short and sweet of it is that little spat she had in the out in the marketplace, kind of scared her with the realization that, oh yeah, like there might be consequences for like the scheming that I did with Ashur because he's not dead. I was really hoping Ashur was going to kill him, and now he's throwing around threats. And yeah, my husband is old. He might kill us, and she's scared for the daughter. So that's where their whole back and forth comes from, because it's like, well, yeah, we really do need to think about what's going to happen to her, and kind of me, cough cough, when you're gone. And it's like that's why they bring up they bring up the whole like, well, we could marry her off to somebody like I forget the name, but yeah, well, like I didn't think they were originally going with Pompey, but then they bring up the idea, well, let's marry her off to Pompey because that way Crassus can't get her. That was kind of the gist that I got from it.
Yeah, I got all of the stuff with Viridia. I was having trouble following what the fuck they were talking about Caesar because Gabinius is like, Pompey just said he's hanging out with Caesar, and that's all he told me. And then they do the Shakespearean speak, and Kosudia is like, oh, Caesar seeks to cleave alliance. I'm like, whose alliance? Like, who is Caesar trying to get in between? And eventually, I figured out they meant the alliance between Pompey and Gabinius, which I never took to be much of an alliance. They just, if Gabinius has to pick a side, it's going to be, Pompey's side. So I'm like, why would Caesar care if Pompey gives a shit about Gabinius anymore? And then suddenly they're talking about, well, Caesar is going to try to ally with Pompey, which would then put him in alliance with Crassus.
To create the triumvirate.
Yeah. But but Gabinius's whole purpose throughout this entire show so far is to prevent civil war between Crassus and Pompey. So I'm like, if they ally with each other, like, wouldn't that prevent the civil war? And then they eventually get to the point where, if the three of them, Caesar, Pompey, and Crassus, ally with one another, they could basically take over Rome, which, yeah, that's true, but that's not something that has even been pitched as a possibility so far in the show. I was struggling to follow, like, whose alliances are being destroyed, whose alliances are being created, and why does all of this suddenly matter? And I eventually got there. Like what Ronan said is correct. Like Kasudia runs to Gabinius because she's afraid of Viridia now, and so her thought is maybe we just marry off Viridia to one of the third most powerful men in Rome, and then she's safe. Got that part. Could not follow why Gabinius was suddenly against Caesar and Crassus and Pompey being buddies when 7 episodes up until now, his goal was to keep them from fighting each other. Which
Yeah,
I
that's
eventually figured it out, but it was a struggle for me to get there. I don't know how you guys
yeah.
felt.
No, well, no. It's part of it is like you are right, and you did throw out there. It's like this, like because Senator Gabinius is correct, but at some point off camera, he has come to the realization as to what's going to happen if the three of them really do, form like the mega powers and unite. Like if they like it is going to be something that's going to destroy like the Roman system as they know it. He is correct, but that's like yeah, that's a failure of the show to not take us on his journey to figure that out. Yes, again, he is historically correct, but how did he get to that point? The show never told us. And like
Yeah.
they're just counting on us to be like, "Oh, well yeah, he's figured out the triumvirate." Like it's like, but well, yeah, we know that historically, but we need you to explain to us how he fucking got there. And the
Yeah,
show,
because
Yeah.
the show did.
his whole goal was to avoid civil war, and then something happens that would avoid civil war, but now he is suddenly against that too. And I got
Yeah.
there, but it took a minute.
I think I think it's a valid criticism of the show. I mean, all this Pompey Crassus stuff is going on in the background. Caesar showed up
Way
for
in
like
the background.
one episode to do some shit, and then he's gone, right? And I think one of the criticisms of the show is like all this sort of like, do we need any of this? Do we need
It better
like
pay off.
all this
We
backstory of
better see
Pompey?
Pompey in the Pompey and or Crassus and or we've already seen Caesar. I want to see Crassus and Pompey in these last 2 episodes. Otherwise, yeah, it's like
Yeah,
what was the point?
it was like
Just
we
to
don't need
introduce
any of it.
conflict into Ashur's love interest?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's got to be something that pays off
Yeah.
with this because
There
it just kind of
should be
feels like
something that pays off for it.
yeah,
There's no guarantee that there's going to be. Like, that
right.
yeah, like the whole there's gotta be. It's like, no, there doesn't gotta be, but there
Well,
should.
there's got to be for the show to actually like not receive criticism from us. So
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
got to
Well, like I said, there should be, but there doesn't gotta be.
be. Yeah.
Anyways, I eventually got there in the end. It took a minute. Had to like this is a moment where they could have the Shakespearean dialogue, and then they needed like an audience surrogate idiot to like dumb it down for that idiot so they could present it to me, the idiot watching from home. Anyways, later on, Gabinius tells Viridia, "Hey, we want to marry you off to Pompey," and Viridia's like, really? Feminist icon Ashur just convinced me to be my own woman. Uh, and so she is very not happy about this. But Gabinius is like, look, I'm asking you a favor. I'm not going to force you to do this. And Kasudia is like, what the fuck you mean you're not going to force her to do this? She better fucking do it.
He's been a good
But
dad.
yeah, Gabinius tells Kasudia to shut up. Gabinius is like, look,
That's
Noted
basically
feminist Gabinius.
Gabinius is telling Viridia, it's like, look, we need this to happen so that Pompey will still, be on our side and not ally. Basically, marry Pompey's because that gives us a better chance of avoiding the triumvirate because Pompey will
Because
stay in my corner.
yeah.
Yeah, because suddenly he cares about
yeah,
that.
Yeah. I understand why they want to marry her off, but I don't see how her suddenly marrying Pompey would stop
yeah.
like a triumvirate. That's the thread
There,
piece that I don't get. They are correct about
Agreed.
what's going to
there,
happen, but
there's
I
a
don't know
moment.
how this plan is going to work.
This scene takes place after, right? Because Gabinius talks to Ashur
Yeah,
about Caesar or whatever, and
yeah.
Ashur's like Caesar, because Ashur says it's Caesar's a mystery, but what I can definitely tell you is he's going to be trying to play both sides to improve whatever. Wouldn't it have been great? Now, again, I'm writing a better show here. I think wouldn't it have been great if they're going to push forward this whole Crassus Pompey triumvirate sort of thing. If it was Ashur who was the one to actually figure out this is what Caesar is doing, holy shit! I got to be the one that's got to tell Gabinius this, and
Season
we got to
2,
figure this
Ashur
out.
versus Triumvirate.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing that just frustrating me the most about Ashur as a character. It's like Ashur would figure that out. Asher acts like he's a complete idiot when he comes to Caesar. He's got this baseline like Caesar's in it for himself. Whatever helps Caesar. Well, figure out that Asher. Like, what is that? The old Asher would figure that shit out and be like, Caesar's playing this person to play this person to play this person. Oh, wait a minute. If all three of them come together, they're going to destroy the Roman Republic. That is something Gabinius would be like, what the fuck? We got to figure out a way out of this, and they could scheme together. But we don't get that. It's just Asher's like, I don't know. I don't know what he's doing, but he's doing something bad.
A major failing of the way they decided to set this show up, where like the events of Spartacus season 2 happen pretty basically exactly as shown, except the sole thing is that somehow Ashur does not die on Mount Vesuvius, but everything else happens, and now we're just supposed to believe that Ashur somehow was with Caesar and Crassus the whole time in War of the Damned. But we don't know the dynamic that he would have had with both of those two characters, and that continuously hurts this show because we don't know how they were originally. We're assuming all we have to go on is that Asher and Caesar never got along, and Asher and Crassus question mark underpants gnome theory. I like this like that's just another failing of how this show was set up, because that's kind of a crucial component that we needed to see in order for this dynamic to
Yeah.
work.
What if Crassus shows up and he loves Ashur? Like, we don't know.
Yeah.
They could be enemies. Like, Crassus could be like, you know what? You fucking proved yourself to me. We're bros now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And so,
Oh,
the whole Crassus thing is like all we really know about Crassus so far is
he gives Ashur
he
money.
Yeah, is that
he
Asher keeps begging him
sometimes
for money.
because Asher, Hilaria is like, there's no money coming from Crassus yet, and Asher's constantly in debt, trying to find ways to pay for things. It's like I don't even really understand. I know they paid lip service, like, oh well, Asher was the one that killed Spartacus, therefore Crassus has gifted him the Lanice, or as the ludus,
You'd
and
figure
his
that would
patronage.
actually have pissed off Crassus, like somebody else got the kill that he desperately wanted.
It just feels like there's not, if you're going to put Crassus and Pompey in this story, which they keep repeating every episode, they're talking Crassus's name drop, Pompey's name drop. We need to see them or something. Like,
Yeah.
give me a side quest. Show me what Caesar's up to. Like, show me more Caesar and like what's going on over there. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't
Anyways,
know.
yeah, let's get back to the story. So I think Gabinius is still trying to get Pompey to go and deal with the Cilician pirates, which would presumably take him away from Caesar and Crassus. My best guess is Gabinius thinks that, hey, if I give him my daughter, he will listen to me and go fight the pirates. But I don't actually know. So anyways, yeah. So there's a scene before this where Ashur is called to Gabinius, and Ashur's words is like, I got fucking humiliated by Proculus in the in like the auction. My reputation with Gabinius is in the gutter because he saw what a shithead I am. But fuck, he wants me to come over and talk business, so I got to go over and talk business. He runs into Verdia, yeah. Then they play a board game and flirt and make some innuendo, and then Gabinius shows up and says, Ashur, my daughter really likes you, and Ashur says, I'm unworthy of her, and Gabinius is like, good, we agree, let's get to business.
Glad that's settled.
Yeah, and so Gabinius tells him, is Aquileia healed? And Ashur says yes. And Gabinius says, good. We're going to have games. Prepare Aquileia and prepare a group of your men. We're going to put on a games, just for the fuck as a distraction. And it's clear that Gabinius is very annoyed. Like in the scene where he talks about Caesar and Pompey with his wife. He's yelling at her. He is like on edge constantly, and he shares that with Ashur. And they talk about Caesar and and this is where Ashur says, Caesar's looking out for himself. You can't trust him. But then he repeats I don't remember the exact phrase, but he repeats wise words to Gabinius, which Gabinius previously told to Ashur, and that actually convinces Gabinius, like, yeah, I gotta basically sell my daughter to Pompey. So Ashur has no idea that he played a role in Viridia going to Pompey potentially, but he does. But Ashur goes back to the Ludus, and he is fucking elated. He's back in Gabinius's good graces. There's going to be another another
Games. He's got
another
the Primus.
games. Yeah, he's got the
Primus.
Primus again. He assembles all the gladiators, and he's like, Achillia, you're a badass. You're the champion again. And so everyone's cheering except for Kid Gladiator. So, but
Worst.
Achillia getting named champion again ends up causing Kid Gladiator to disown Dadiator. Because
Because that makes sense.
Dadiator goes to Kid Gladiator and is like, "Yo, yeah, we have to do our part. We have to honor the champion of this house." And Kid Gladiator says, "You're fucking her, aren't you?" And Daddy Gladiator is like, "Shit, yes, I am." And so Kid Gladiator is like, "Clearly, you are biased against me because you are now with Achillia. I am not your son anymore." And so
I
that
hate this character, guys.
that
I
Yeah,
hate
yeah,
this guy.
Kid Gladiator sucks.
We talked last episode how we were tired and we were over of the Achillia Tarchon drama, and it continued all the way through this episode. I'm
Yes.
just like, Jesus,
So
please end.
Daddy Gladiator goes back to his room, and Achillia's waiting for him. She wants to fuck, and he's like, I can't. I'm so sad about my kid. And so Achillia says, "You look, I'm gonna go find Kid Gladiator. We're gonna hash it out. It's gonna be totally cool. Don't you worry about
Nothing
it."
bad is going to happen
This is where
at all.
Steve in the Discord's like, I'm calling it now.
So
In fairness, we had called this character's death.
Yeah.
like 6 episodes ago. Like we knew. But this is the point where I was like, he cannot possibly survive this episode.
Yeah, because they have
yeah,
the
we knew-
passionate love scene.
Yes.
It wasn't
All we-
like the previous, like, we're just gonna fuck.
This
It's like
episode,
passionate.
this episode just let us know. Oh, it's happening now. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like,
It's
okay.
they're about to rip that Band-Aid off. So Achillia fucks Daddy Gladiator, and then she goes and talks to Kid Gladiator, and he's like, "Hey, look, let's just be fucking bros now." And Kid Gladiator says, "I am not. No, do not fucking talk to me." He calls her a whore, and they end up fighting. And in the fight, he basically reopens the gnarly like hand wound that she has. And when she sees her hand, bleeding vertically like around here, they both stop fighting because they both know they done fucked up. And we cut quickly to a scene of
A
all
great
of the
scene.
all of the gladiators are outside in the fighting pit, and Achillia and Kid Gladiator are backed up to the edge of the cliff, and Asher's like, I should fucking kill you right now. You're fucking stupid. I hate your fucking stupid face and your curly hair.
Please. I was sitting there like, please,
Yes.
kick him off the cliff.
I don't even remember. Like, why doesn't he? Because he threatens it.
No, he tells him that because like the Kid Gladiator's like, I'll be the champion again, which is like one step too far for Ashur. And Ashur's like, you will never be the fucking champion as long as I draw breath. The only reason that I don't bash your brains out from the other side of this fucking cliff is because I already promised you have a match, and Achilles not getting a match, and I'm not going to change the card twice in a row. That was basically it. It's like, like,
all right. So he needs Kid Gladiator to fight in the pit, but he is Kid Gladiator is like one of his feet is like hanging off the edge, and Daddy Gladiator runs out. It's like, Dominus, and Ashur turns around and tells him, "Do not fucking speak." It's great. We all wanted Kid Gladiator to die, but Ashur asks Chorus, who was in this episode very little, unfortunately, asks Chorus, who's the best we got to replace Achilles champion? And Chorus says, Daddy Gladiator. And just
He
think,
doesn't even say that. He says there's but one. But that's what that word means.
yeah,
We know
yeah.
what that means.
But think of this. Think of how shitty all of these gladiators are, because apparently Thick Boy back in episode 1 was better than all of them.
Better than Gladiator,
Yeah,
right?
better than
Apparently.
Gladiator. Yeah, he was. The chorus said, "Thick Boy is the best gladiator that you, not the best gladiator, the best gladiator you've got." So all of these other gladiators are worse than him. Anyways,
Jeez.
the only other thing of note that I can remember that happens before the actual games is the Halara scene.
Oh.
Pay close attention to the scene. Watch it multiple times if you got to.
Watch it on the biggest screen. Go
there's a-
convince your IMAX theater to be able to just private screening to put it up
Large
there.
there's a lot
TV,
of-
4K, 8K if you've got it.
a lot of
3D glasses.
really dense political dialogue in this scene. It's real hard to follow.
Watch real closely.
Yeah,
Just
If
put your
you
face
need,
real
if
close
you need
to
to
the
go in
screen.
slow motion to watch this scene, I understand. It's a lot to take in.
Helpful.
Listener, I need you to come in close, listener. I need you to come in close. We're bullshitting you. There's a wonderful ass shot in this scene.
It's a wonderful
Don't tell
everything
nobody,
shot
though.
in this scene.
No, hold on. We're gonna talk about the ass shot, but
Let's talk about it some
the
more. Let's take the
cameraman
whole
who decided to
podcast about
frame
it.
that just perfectly. We've all made movies before. We know what happens. Like when she gets out of this bath, she's got to go a certain way, right? She's got to hit her mark. The cameraman put the camera framing.
Yeah, framing has each cheek wonderfully 50-50 ratio. With perfect lighting
good.
from the side.
So good.
It's wet and glistening to catch the highlights. You
Kudos
know how when
to the
you're
cameraman.
filming a car, you get the car wet to show all the highlights and the contours. You get the ass nice and wet, so when the lighting from off from the lighting,
The light coming off. Yeah,
where this light comes from, I don't know, but who the fuck cares? It comes
doesn't
down
matter.
from the heavens above,
From the heavens.
shining
Yes.
a glorious
All right.
light.
Anyways, the joke is dead. We're moving on. Halara and Ashur are taking a bath together. They're discussing, what's gonna happen. And Halara calls Ashur, and Ashur's like, "You what? Like, what
You're
happened to
getting a little too
Dominus?"
friendly there.
Yeah, he's like, "You're being overly familiar, aren't you?" And she's like, "What do you mean? Like, when we last fucked, you told me to call you Ashur." And he's like, "Oh yeah, actually, about that, I was drugged. Cornelia spiked my drink, and you're cool. I like you a lot, but yeah, I didn't mean anything I said.
You're the best slave I've got."
Yeah, so he tells her,
He's honest.
he tells her,
Yeah, bizarrely honest is what Ashur is. It's crazy.
yeah, he tells her, "You're my favorite woman in this house.
Here.
But outside of this house, my heart belongs to another. Go get some wine, and we just won't ever talk about this again."
That always works out great.
Yeah,
Again, surprising honesty from Ashur in this scene, and you could tell it's great acting on his part. It's like he could have come up with some scheme or some lie. He's like, but he just chooses like, look, I got drugged. I didn't mean to get drugged, and so I was starting to say some stupid shit. It's like, wow, they're taking the high road with this character. This character who has a history of not taking the high road. What in the hell?
It's very weird. But subsequently to this is where I sort of lost my shit. Because I'm like, okay, you guys I've been waiting. Okay, Halara's going to go nuts. She's going to go nuts and something crazy is going to happen. And she immediately goes downstairs to go see Messia, like, hey, make out with me. I'll bang you now. Fine. Yeah. You were right. And then Messia's like, nah, sorry.
I'm not anybody's rebound girl.
Yeah, I'm not your rebound girl.
And good for her. Good for her.
And we get really nothing from Halara the rest of the episode. Like,
I think it's coming in the next couple episodes because we see it.
It
better be, but there are shots later when because Messia tells her, because Ashur doesn't name drop Viridia, but when Halara goes to Messia and tries to put the moves on her and Messia shuts her down, Messia tells Halara he likes Viridia, and so there are scenes later on where Halara and Viridia are all there, and there are just shots of Halara just kind of looking crazy. And so I'm expecting.
I saw her looking at her, but she didn't look crazy to me. She didn't look like I'm gonna fucking like
Yeah.
poison this.
I think the show was telling us she's gonna fucking do something.
I
It
don't.
better.
I hope
don't-
it better.
It better.
I don't know. Nope. You're giving this. I do not have faith. I don't have the faith anymore that there's going to be we're going to get crazy bitch. I don't have the faith in it. It's gone. It's
Justice for Halara. That's what. Hashtag justice for
Let's get that
Halara.
hashtag going in the chat. But yeah,
Yeah.
I don't have the faith in the show pulling that off anymore. It's gone. 2 episodes left. I don't have it.
I could see a world where Ashur ends up with Viridia, and then Halara immediately kills her, and that's one of the finales. Is that going to happen? I have no idea. Anyways, is there anything else that we need to talk about before we get to the actual games segment?
Well,
of this
let's
episode?
talk about that shot one more
Let's
time.
to the ass.
Continue.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So now they're at the games, and everyone, Ashur has taken loss after loss after loss. Everyone in this games is treating him like shit. Gabinius is angry because Achilles not there. Ashur confronts Kasudia and tells him, Proculus is dead because you didn't actually send him to me to kill. And Kasudia is like, nope, I take no blame in this. Go fuck yourself. And Ashur goes and fucks himself because he's got no comeback for this. He's just eating it. And so he goes to watch the games, and he is just sitting there, very sad, very morose. And Viridia is there. Even Viridia is not like talking to him, and so he thinks, Viridia has done something, or he has done something to Viridia. And eventually, they both get up and walk away. And Ashur's like, "Look, did I do something? Can we talk?" And Viridia, basically comes clean. And is like, I have to marry Pompey to stop Rome, the Roman Republic, from being dominated by these 3 essentially warlords
Somehow.
and they they kind of say to it, they finally, like, they're past the point of flirting, like they're not acknowledging that they wish they wish they were 2 people that could be together, but because of Roman politics and the fact that Ashur's not a Roman at all, they can't. And so once again, Ashur is like, I thought the acting in this scene was great. Nick Terribly is like on the verge of tears. There's a great this is happening.
Yeah, there's a great moment where he's just talking, like, they're talking about how it's like, all marriage stuff is just a way for, like, people to, like, just get power out of a relationship. It's like, there is no man who wouldn't. And Asher's like, well, I mean, there is one. It's me. Yeah, that's his way of saying that. And then she kind of looks at him, tears in her eyes too. Good on her part. She's like, well, maybe I should clarify. There is no Roman man that would.
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
like
Ashur, noted man who does not seek power of any kind.
Yeah, it's like
this could just be a story of Ashur trying to play ball in Roman society. If that's not what we wanted, fine.
Not a story I think I want.
But it's not being told well.
Anyways, so Ashur's taken loss after loss after loss, and so they watch the fight, and one of the first fights we've seen is one of the copy paste gladiators whose name is Helios. I remember I noted that.
Yeah.
Blonde locks. That's
he had a scene in the bath. There was a bath scene with him.
Didn't he? Wait. And maybe this is some dialogue I missed. Like I missed the fat Roman dialogue last episode. But wasn't he early on? He was like fighting with Achilles. But didn't he do something like he was trying to like help her out in a way because she was doing something with the spear? Do you guys remember that? He stops and he says something like earlier on in this episode when Achilles
he's like,
is back,
like attack the sword, not the spear, or something like that.
Yeah.
But he hates her just like Tarchon. I was like, why is
I don't know that I've ever seen Helios interact with. Because Helios
early on he interacted with her and he hated her just like Tarchon hated her because he was telling Tarchon we're gonna take that bitch down.
No. So there's Tarchon as Kid Gladiator, and then Tarchon has 2 close buddies like the 3 Musketeers that all hate Achilles.
Yeah, because the other gladiators are fine with her now.
This is a different guy.
Yes. Yeah, because
Oh shit! I can't even tell the difference between these
into these
copy-paste.
gladiators. Yeah,
Oh, see,
Tarchon's
come on.
two buddies are Arado and Apicius or something like that.
Holy shit, you know the names.
Well,
Holy fuck.
Someone had to, but yeah.
Where are they in this episode?
Well, one. I mean, they were probably there in the
I'm
background.
sure
I don't
they
even
were
know.
around.
Like,
Helios.
yeah. Helios is like.
I thought that was Tarkon's buddy from
No,
like 3
no.
episodes.
The buddy that looks like Helios is Arado. Again,
Stephen
copy
DeKnight.
and paste gladiators.
Poor casting, buddy. Poor casting. They all look the same.
You've done a poor job.
Maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe I am wrong, but I'm pretty sure that Helios is not one of the three musketeers with Kid Gladiator.
Leave a comment down below, folks. Who was that gladiator?
I don't have the fucks to give to Wikipedia this to find out the truth or not.
Anyways, the fight is Helios versus the last Ferox brother. And so they go out and they're obviously making jokes about the Ferox's brother's height. And
he's terrified. He's still terrified.
Helios has got his swords, and he's like, "Yeah, the gods send a child to fight me, and I'm gonna send the child back to the gods." And the Ferox brother just chucks his sword and hits him right in the neck, kills him one shot. Fucking laughed out loud at this. I loved that part. And so did everyone in the arena because they're talking about what a humorous outcome it is.
Silent, and then they start laughing with Steve.
Ashur's just sitting there like, oh my god. It's like, can this day get any worse?
There was one fight before this. We catch the tail end of it, and Ashur's guy wins. I don't know if they named the gladiator, but I don't know. But yeah, there was a fight before.
Who was that dude? Because
they were in masks. I have no idea who that gladiator was.
He has a name, but as I said before, I don't have the fucks to give.
Yeah, it wasn't an important gladiator. Anyways, rip Helios, the MVP of this episode.
Hashtag RIP Helios.
So the next fight is going to be Kid Gladiator versus random gladiator from Proculus's group. And so remember, the plan was for Kid Gladiator was going to kill the fat guy that's hurting his
Maybe
girlfriend.
We should have Matt explain the plan. Matt, how does the plan go down in your head canon?
So Gabinius is sitting up there, right? Kid Gladiator is going to somehow realize that Gabinius is the fat Roman that's sitting with his girl, and he's going to get really angry, and he's going to throw that sword, and it's going to kill Gabinius, and it's going to cause mass chaos. That's what happens in my head canon. Drama.
Let me tell you what actually happens in the show. When the girlfriend was talking about the big fat guy that hurt her, weirdly enough, she was talking about the fat guy that we had previously seen in the show.
For 5 seconds. Yeah.
Weird. I know that's strange.
Once established and set up. The show fucks that up a lot, but it didn't fuck that up here.
Yeah.
Look, all I'm saying is my storyline was better. That's all I'm saying. I give you guys that I was wrong, but my storyline.
The girl whose name I don't know, I've either forgotten it or maybe I didn't know it. I don't know.
Hey, at least she's not having sex in this. This is like her fourth time we've seen her, and she's not banging anybody. So good on that actress.
She does
finally get a role where she's not naked.
She does have more bruises, so she has not been treated by this fat guy. Anyways, she is basically in the front row with fat guy, and so Kid Gladiator is fighting this guy, and then just I guess he gives the Kid Gladiator gives the girlfriend a signal, and she just like shoulder checks him and knocks him into the arena. Somehow no one sees this, but
nobody sees it.
He goes tumbling into the arena, and all of the Romans are like, stop the fight. It's very important we protect this Roman. But the gladiators don't stop, and Kid Gladiator baits the other gladiator into accidentally killing Fat Roman. And so everyone, and Proculus stands up and he's like, I will personally kill my gladiator for doing that. And people are calling for blood. Oh no, they killed a Roman. They send the guards out to stop the fight and execute this other gladiator. But Kid Gladiator ends up winning the fight immediately and kills this other gladiator. And that gets him big cheers from the crowd because now he has avenged this dead Roman. And no one knows that he set this up. So Kid Gladiator has gotten like some props from the the game's going crowd now, and
Storyline sucks.
I'll give Kid Gladiator his flowers. That was a pretty slick move, like a pretty slick plan he came up with, and he baited the other Gladiator into making the killing shot. Like,
No, see, I don't believe Kid Gladiator would be smart enough to come up with this plan. There's nothing been established in this show.
The plan was clearly established in the previous episode.
She's gonna like shoulder check a huge fat Roman into the gladiator pit, and he's gonna get the other gladiator just in the right spot where he can like block, deflect it. No, come on, dude.
Matt,
no,
you arrogant slut. This was all the previous episode.
I don't have a problem with this plan. Like, they set it up. He told the girl, get him in the front row. I'm gonna take care of it. He is a gladiator. Presumably, he knows how to manipulate sword strikes and watch people's footwork. I did not have. I don't like.
Leave
Kid
a
Gladiator.
comment down below, folks. Was this a stupid plan?
He's a stupid character, but I'm going to give him his flowers. He pulled it off.
This was fine. I don't like the character. I think the show appropriately set this up. Matt is overruled. So anyways, now it's time for the last fight. And so no one but the people in the box seats, the important people, know that Achilles is not there. And so Gabinius is like, Ashur, you sad fuck.
You handle this.
You go out there and disappoint them. You announce the last games. And Ashur tries his best. He tries to hype this up. He's like, Achilles, awesome, right? Yeah, roar the crowd.
Woo!
Let's see who's gonna fight her next time. So they call out Daddy Gladiator, and the Kid Gladiator that continues to treat Daddy Gladiator like shit. And then Proculus has a new gladiator. It's like the unknown Scythian. I forgot the nationality they claim, but it's an unknown gladiator. And out comes another woman gladiator, and everyone's like fucking shocked at this. Everyone turns around and asks Proculus, like, Proculus,
you went woke too?
You put a woman in the arena? Oh my god, we've never seen a woman in the arena. What are we going to do? What are we going to?
Yeah, so everyone turns to Proculus. It's like, what the fuck? Yeah, another woman in the arena, and Proculus is like, it seems like the flavor of the month to have a female gladiator. And so they begin fighting, and female gladiator is like just dominating Daddy Gladiator to start with. She's got speed that he can't match. He eventually, fights back and starts beating on her. But ultimately, she does the fucking. She's knocked on the ground. Then she does a fucking Booker T spinneroonie to get back on her feet real quick, and she stabs Daddy Gladiator. And so then
to
he
the shock and dismay
to the shock of everyone
and everybody. Oh.
He gets stabbed, and then he's still got a sword. He's like, well, if I'm gonna die, I'm gonna take you with me. Which what happens in the ancient Roman games when there's a fucking draw? I don't know. But anyways, he's going to try to like take her with him, but she blocks it and stabs him again. And then she is so strong, she's able to like lift him up over her head by these two swords.
She's a big lady.
She is a big lady.
Now, like, we don't mean big as in like, chonky. We mean big as in
Wonder Woman.
She is an Amazonian. This woman could tie all three of us into a knot if she wanted to.
And we would let her.
Yes, this woman is built.
So she drops Daddy Gladiator, goes around behind him, and the Kid Gladiator tried to act uninterested. But when he hears that maybe the fight's not going well, he gets back up and goes and watches the fight. And so basically, Daddy Gladiator and Kid Gladiator are staring each other down as he gets impaled through his shoulders. Daddy Gladiator is now dead. Surprisingly, Gabinius is like, oh, hey, that was actually neat after all. Good job, everyone, including you, Ashur. But Ashur is just sitting there, just moping. And I think Viridia says something about the horizon. I forget the line, but meant to be somewhat encouraging words. And that is the end of the episode. Yeah, look to the horizon. I'm sure that's a callback to something they said. But it's meant to be uplifting or, chin up, friend. And that's in the episode. The episode ends with Ashur just moping because he suffered like 17 losses in this episode.
To add to like the 50 losses he's had the previous 7 episodes of this show. All right, Ronan, I'm going to turn to you. Did episode 8 improve over episode 7 in your opinion?
Yeah, it was substantially better than the last episode. Yet most of my gripes from last week about I still don't understand everything we said at the beginning of this, like the first 10 minutes. All of that still applies here. Like you got 2 episodes left. This was your episode 3. What is your end game now at this point? I'm assuming I'm assuming it's gonna have something to do with Viridia, and now Achilles is gonna
They
want
just
to
should make
have
the show is gonna go full like 80s romantic comedy, and Asher has to disrupt the wedding of Poppy and Viridia.
So while earlier in this episode when we kept talking about how Asher keeps getting shit on now, like when you guys were talking about how like they were speaking in Greek about how I wouldn't piss on Asher if he was on fire. Asher sucks. Yeah, Asher sucks. And I was remembering every other episode where we have been told that Asher sucks, and suddenly like it occurred to me the comparison, and this is one Steve probably understands more. Steve, do you remember a WCW where the NWO kept saying that WCW sucks? And then eventually the announcers kept saying that WCW sucks. And then the wrestlers kept saying that WCW sucks. And then suddenly the audience was like, WCW sucks. We shouldn't watch this show, and they stopped watching. That's kind of what's going on here. We have been told the entirety of this show, Asher sucks. Yeah, that Asher sucks. Asher sucks. Asher sure does suck because they don't give him any wins. And now it's become to the point where it's like, yeah, the title character of this show does suck because he doesn't get any fucking wins. Yeah, but I think I mentioned that last episode. We could root for Badiatus because he would get fucked over, but he would also get wins. Things
Get his revenge and stuff. It's like
yeah,
those little moments, like, oh, okay, he got
of
some payback here.
yeah, so, the spite would build up in him, and you knew those cocksuckers were going to pay for getting on his bad side, and he had Asher at his side to lay down swift vengeance on these motherfuckers. And here is Asher, this sort of like, man, I used to lay down swift vengeance on these motherfuckers, but oh well, I guess I'll just twiddle my pecker. Yeah, it's
Well, that's
yeah.
what I don't understand because, okay, if this show is supposed to take place essentially right after Asher was to die, um, did he just forget his entire past, like everything that led up to that, and everything he was as a character, or is this supposed to be like, no, Asher died, and he wakes up from this dream when he's talking to Lucretia in the underworld or whatever. He wakes up, and this is just a completely different Asher than the Asher we saw in
The
the previous.
multiverse theory, Asher. I think I
Yeah,
mentioned that a couple episodes
yeah, because
ago.
because this does not feel like the Asher that we have all come to love just for his villainy. This just feel, and I agree with you, just a constant. This guy sucks. He sucks. Nick Terry, he's doing great. He's doing he's acting great. Everything like the bones of everything in the show is fantastic, but something feels missing to me, and I think it's to your point. I I'm seeing no scheming from Asher. Asher just seems like, I just want to be a good dude in Rome. That's all. I just want to rebuild the arena that Spartacus burned down. That's all I really want to do. And now I'm in love with Viridia, and I just want to go live happily ever with her. I don't want to see that show. Like, I want to see the show where Asher gets fucked over by these people, and then he's 4 steps ahead and fucking them all over. And this doesn't feel like we're getting it.
We're
2
not
episodes left.
we're not getting it in the next 2 episodes. I can just promise you that will be my prediction. We are not going to suddenly get avenging, scheming monster. You it's not going to happen in the next 2 episodes. And if it does, it's like you didn't give enough time for these plots to simmer. So, like now, if you do try to do it, if there are like, see, we gave you what you wanted, it's like, yeah, but you didn't do it right. You didn't give proper time for these moments to like build and everything. So, like, it's
Yeah,
not
it
going to
might
happen in
feel
the next two.
rushed.
It's not. Yeah,
It
it's
might
not
feel.
going to happen in the next 2 episodes. I can just tell you now. I don't know what's going to happen in the next 2 episodes, but it ain't going to be that.
What about you, Steve? What are your thoughts on this episode?
I'd put it on par with the last one. Like I still mostly enjoyed it. I mean, I agree with everything you're saying. I, I I want Ashur to start turning this around and winning. I hope we get it in the next 2 episodes. I don't know if we will. We still I've still I'd say I liked it as much as the last episode, which I think we all agreed was the worst episode. But I'm still in the same spot that I started with. Like, what is the end game here? What is Ashur trying to achieve? Is it just he just wants to play? Is it just he wants to be successful? I can live with that, but fucking tell me. If he just wants to be a good Lanista, then
Yeah.
we don't need the rest of this stuff. And what happened to his relationship with Achilea? Remember when Achilea was a big deal in the show? Like, when's the last time that Ashur had any sort of meaningful conversation with Achilea? Like, she's become like an afterthought. It's I don't know. It's I still like the show. Still excited to watch new episode every Friday. It's in a slump. There's no getting around that. This episode is
Yeah.
fine, but they're running out of time to fix it.
Yeah. Another aspect of this episode, I think they wanted Daddy Ader's death to be very sort of like, oh man, to the audience. I didn't give a shit at all.
No, we
Like,
knew it was going to happen.
yeah, we knew it was going to happen. We called it many episodes back. Go listen if you're brand new to the show. And it just felt like I just remember like the deaths that would occur. Vero. Like
Yeah, no one saw
Vero's
that
death
coming.
was awesome because they built that time with Spartacus and Vero and over multiple episodes, and then it was just kind of like out of the blue, and you saw the emotion on Spartacus's face and Vero's face, like this is how it's got to be, bro. Just do it. Just do it. Daddy-ator, I don't care. Like there's something missing here. Like the DNA of something in this show is out of whack because they have all these gladiators. Every week we complain, it's like we don't know who any of them are. They're all the same. You're spot on, Steve. Achillea, and for all the people who were complaining online before this show even came out, oh, it's all woke. It's just going to be about Achillea, this female gladiator. No, one,
She's
two
like a C
episodes maybe.
character.
Now she got her hand all screwed up, and she's just gone essentially for the rest of the season so far. Now, obviously, they're going to build to it's going to be Achillea versus
What's
this
her name?
other female,
Yeah.
probably in the last episode, because Ashur was like, "Who's going to win? Who's going to fight Achillea?"
She
Whoever
needs
wins this-
she needs a girl boss.
For a moment there, I thought Daddy Gladiator was safe because Ashur says basically, I can't give you Achillea, but the winner of this fight is going to face Achillea in the next game. So I was like, wait, are they going to have Daddy Gladiator win so that he is forced to fight Achillea in a
Would that
future
have been a
episode?
better story, Steve?
I don't know. I don't know if that would have been better.
No?
But
I think it would have been a better story.
I thought maybe it could have been better just because it would have been subverting your expectations is just a fucking stupid thing to strive for. It can be done. Okay, we all peg Daddy Gladiator is dying. I would have been surprised if they didn't go that route. And for a moment, I thought he was at least going to live to fight another day, and then no, they just killed him anyway. You also mentioned the arena, and someone does mention to Ashur, "Hey, what's going on with the arena?" And Ashur says, "I promise, I'm working with Crassus. He's totally going to pay for it. Don't you even worry about it."
Is that
Yeah.
liar?
So yeah, again, I think that would have been a better story because we've already set up the drama between the relationship between Achillea and Dad Gladiator. They love each other. They're having the passionate love making thing. And then it's like, oh, by the way, we have to fight in the next Primus. And it is, to the death. And how does that all go down? You get to actually see Achillea have to make that killing blow. Again, that's drama. That's good drama. This random gladiator lady that just showed up, like, we're not going to probably see her until the last episode.
I think the drama they're setting up, like they have to be. Like, I will be absolutely goddamn shocked if they don't go this route. They have to be setting up that now
Achillea and Kid Gladiator.
Kid Gladiator has to now know that if I had not broken her hand again, that would have been her in the arena, and Daddy Gladiator would still be alive. They have to do that, right?
Kid Gladiator's going to try to make up, because he's feels guilty about what happened, and he's, the only way his dad's going to get any sort of, revenge, or he's getting revenge for his dad, is helping Achilles. So then you got to go through more drama between Tarkon and Achilles as they try to work together these last couple episodes to help her
Yeah.
defeat this. I'm just like, I don't want this. I
I'm
don't
I'm
want
almost
any of this.
I'm almost sad to say, it's like, oh yeah, it doesn't occur to me. I fucking called this like several episodes ago. Like, yeah, like Daddy Gladiator is going to die, and it's going to be Kid Gladiator's fault, and that's going to be his big growing moment. Is the
Yeah.
realization that he got his dad killed. I was
I
thinking
also
it
want
was
to
going to.
say, so good.
I was thinking it was going to be in like a tag fight, but I'm still taking it.
I do want to say that Ashur tells Viridia that Pompey is not going to care about you. Pompey treats his wives like they're disposable. Not true. We saw in Rome, which is in continuity with this show, that Pompey actually cares for his wives deeply.
Yes. Very, very true. So if you have to give a letter grade, we forgot to give letter grades on the last episode. I'd probably give the last episode a C minus. I think Roni, you said a C for the last episode. Steve, what would you give that letter
I
rating?
think that the last one and this one are both C's.
C's. Okay. I'm tempted to give this one an A just for that one shot in the bath. I mean, it's so fantastic. I mean, it's just, I mean, it elevates.
Is it going to be the wallpaper on your laptop now?
It should be, but I don't know if my fiance like,
Also,
what is that?
Can your laptop even hold all that ass? I don't know.
I don't think so. I don't think it's big enough. Like, honestly, I don't think it's big enough. But man, I'm gonna go C for this one as well. I did think it was better than the last one, but again, if these last two episodes don't deliver something awesome, because I want to do like a wrap up show after episode 10 where we just kind of discuss everything and the different characters and stuff. If the last two, if this does not stick whatever landing it's going for, which I still don't know what the landing is, I'm going to be very disappointed in this show.
It's not going to stick the landing.
I don't know what that,
Do it.
Ronan. I don't know what the landing is. Like,
That's
I
why
don't
it's not
know.
going to stick it.
I don't even know where it's gonna stick. Like, where should it be sticking? I don't know. Um,
In that beautiful ass.
and with that, folks, bro, do we all give our letter grades ratings?
I think we
No.
did. I think we all
No.
agree it's like a C or C-ish.
No,
C-ish.
you skipped me.
Yeah.
Ronan,
Okay.
please,
Ronan.
please, the floor is
Ronan,
yours.
we're talking about that. We're talking about Halara. I can't think straight. So go ahead. Give me your letter grade for this one.
Last week's episode, that was like a C minus, real fucking close to that D territory, because that was a bad fucking episode. This one is a lot better, but it's not. We're not in banger territory anymore. Like we've that time has passed. So no, I give this one like a B minus. Like yeah, B minus for the episode
Mine is
itself.
still pretty good.
B minus, but like
E for butt.
S plus
Oh
tier.
yeah.
S plus tier for that ass though. That for that one framing shot. That's like school. That's like school, like film school composition level teaching.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Jupiter's Crock here on the Outpost Unknown YouTube channel. Please hit that like and subscribe. Ring that notification bell. Hopefully, if Stars graces us with a new episode next Friday, we will be back again with another one, talking about whether we thought episode 9, if it's leading to anything good. And if you disagree with us, leave a comment down below. Tell us why you disagree. Yeah, that's it. Goodbye, everybody. Have a good night.